in the list, which is coming together very nicely. So
have you been into the museum? I presume you have.
yeah, already drawn up everything. So
what we do time-wise?
Quickly this morning, just to show that things are progressing.
Oh, it's a phantom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a few teething problems. Hello, everybody. As you can see, we are live from the Tank Museum. We are trusting on their public Wi-Fi to see if this is going to be working today. I'm delighted to say I'm joined this afternoon by a very good friend of mine, Mr. Tim Warner. Hello, Tim.
Nice to be here.
Well, I was going to say, I haven't seen you for the best part of nearly Telford 2019.
Yeah.
And Tim and I have known each other for a very long time, 30 plus years. Yeah, exactly. So we're just having a quick cup of tea and a catch up. Then we're going to have some lunch. Then we're going to go walk about. But it's nice to be here in the Tank Museum. Absorbing inspiration, I think is a good way of putting it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, for me, I'm very lucky. I only live, as you know, 3 miles from here. So for me, it's a bit like, it's having a museum on your doorstep that you don't use often enough. But I mean, that's the common case for everyone, I think.
I should actually, now I think about it, I should actually kind of like message you and go, Tim, can you go pop down to the museum and take some photographs for me? Because I come down here and I literally wear the battery out on my camera.
Yeah.
Because I photograph everything and anything I can. Because I come down here so frequently, is when I do come down here, it's always got a bit of a magical atmosphere to it.
Well, exactly that. I mean, we're so lucky the fact that tied up with this and the fact that we're also tied up with you saw the thing this week from the We Have Ways with the Sherman thing outside the Chelsea Army Museum.
Yeah.
Well, of course, it's for a lot of people, they don't actually get to see one like that.
No.
And for those of us who live on the doorstep, it's very strange to think about it as being anything other than the norm.
Yes.
So it is a wonderful thing to have here. I mean, when I was a small boy, we used to cycle to here. The museum was a fraction of the size of what it is now.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have still been kind of using the old World War One tanks back then, wouldn't they?
Well,
No,
almost.
no. I'm reading through the Tratlink magazine, and it was going through the history of the museum a couple of years ago, and it was literally, when it started out, it was literally like a corrugated shed, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then they just started.
The thing was, the army. I mean, when I was at college back in the late 70s, we had some college projects to do here, and the actual library part was tiny. Today it's an entity on its own, which is quite different.
And I think the other thing is it's only up until recent times, and I'd say probably post World War II, that we've started to appreciate the need to preserve these machines of war, so to speak. Up until probably the post-war period, they were very much seen as, they were tools, and they were, for want of a better phrase, they were instruments of war. After the Second World War, I think we became more acutely aware of the need to preserve examples for future generations. When you think the post-war period, you think of how many rare artifacts have now gone forever, and we're talking about aircraft, tanks, and things of which nothing exists. And yet, after the post-war period, there were hundreds, if not thousands, stacked up somewhere, all gone to the cutter's torch.
Well, the trouble is, it's like all these things. At the time, originally, the museum was only purely and simply a bolt-on, if you like, for the Royal Armoured Corps. And then they decided to open it up so that people could come around and have a look around and everything else. And then it was sort of became a bolt-on, and then it became much later when it became a private entity. So now although it's on an army site, it's not army at all now. So you have a completely different approach to this, and also the fact that this whole area should be remembered. The fact that this whole area was in fact for the army range, and of course down the road for the gunnery range as well, which is still obviously much in use.
I'd say a weird thing is Monday I'm doing my tour of the West Country this week. So Monday I was down in that there in Devon. Your hated rivals.
No, it's not that. It's a Cornish.
Let's say your hated rivals who put the jam on the wrong way round, which is the same as Somerset. We despise them for their cream first ways. But the weird thing was on the I don't know if you saw the thing about I unearthed when I was doing the library at home. I came across this folder that my father had done years ago and didn't know about it, and it's all part of his family history. And lo and behold, there was a photograph of my grandfather, John Henry. On the back, it said John Henry Mock, Devonshire Regiment. I never realised he was in the Devonshire Regiment. He's actually a Devon man. And where did he do his basic training for the Devonshire Regiment? Topsham, right? Where have I been in and out of the last few months? Topsham. But the weird thing is, when you're kind of heading towards Exmouth, you kind of take a roundabout, go to Topsham, get back on the main road anyway. There is a point on the road when you are going past the Royal Marine Commando base at Lyncham. It's just like driving through here at Bovington. It's really bizarre. It's the way the road curves, the fences, the buildings. It's almost like there is this military kind of aesthetic. But it is, if you were to take two photographs and say, kind of like, Bovington or Lyncham, people go Bovington, no, Lyncham. Lympstone. That's a Lympstone.
Yes, it is an odd thing. The fact that this place can, there must be enough interest, because the people do come here, and we do have obviously other events which museums have to take on board to attract people. But it is a very unique place. From the point of view, it has a very public interface, whereas Whereas a lot of the other ones tend not to be like that.
I got to say, I'm always very impressed with the way the Tank Museum market themselves, and in terms of their their YouTube channel, the way they've roped in obviously people like Al Murray, Chris Barry, people like that. It's they really are pushing the boat out to get people interested, rather than it just being a hall full of dusty artifacts.
Yeah.
But no, as I say, because this is, well, I say it's away from me. It's probably about a 2-hour drive for me, which
Well,
in the
it
scheme
is a
of things,
2-hour drive,
which in the scheme of things isn't that much. And I've got a far more comfortable car now. So if I can do Exmouth, I'm sure I can do Bovington. So that'll be on my list of things to do next year, is actually drive down there.
It's a place where you can come to, and it's actually welcoming. I mean, we're sitting in the cafe at the moment, and you can actually sit here quite comfortably without, quite comfortably, and
Wasn't like that in August, I can tell you.
But it wasn't like that then. But the fact is that if you plan your visit, then it's no problem at all.
Yeah.
And if you've had enough, you can always go around. I mean, there are other things to see in this area.
There's Thomas Hardy's cottage.
There's Hardy's cottage for one
There's
thing.
T. Lawrence's
There's Lawrence's up the road as well.
There's the lovely town of Dorchester, which I like.
Dorchester is very nice.
Yeah.
Can be very nice. Yeah.
There's a very fine brewery in Dorchester.
And also the fact is that if you are on a military quest, then of course we do have. Not only do we have this one, but we also have the Signals Museum in Blandford, which, to my extreme shame, especially as I know the creator from there, Adam Forty, who keeps saying to me, "You must come," and I haven't been. So it's now on record that I will make a big effort in the new year to go.
Right, okay, there we go. The 2022 interesting modelling company trip to the Royal Signals
Royal
Museum.
Signals
There
Museum.
we go. You heard it here first.
And from that, and also from the other museum, which is the Dorset Museum, Dorset Regiment Museum, which is in the top of Dorchester, which ironically has some very important bits and pieces, including Hitler's desk. Would you believe? So I don't know quite how that ended up there, but it is there.
Yes, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that on Antiques Roadshow?
But it is there. It is there. I did see that as a small boy. And what else have we got in there? We've got quite a lot of. I mean, even if you want to span it a bit further than that, we've also got. Don't forget, we've also got Bovington, which is a million.
Bovington is just through, which is useful for us because it's equidistant. We can actually meet up there. And, we're going to have to go. We're going to wrap this up for the moment, Tim, because we've got
things to do.
We've got a job to do here today. Also, I'm hungry. I want some lunch.
Yeah, and I could do with.
And another cup of tea as well. So anyway, look, we thought we'd just do a quick pop-up live here from the Tank Museum, and we might do another one later on. See how we feel. See how we feel once we've been fed and watered properly. There will be photographs going up of some of the stuff here today, so keep an eye out for that. Nothing exciting, just probably more pictures of blessed Kettenkrads knowing me. So on that note, as always, like I say, it's just a short thing. Also to play catch up with Tim because, like I say, I haven't seen him for 2 years. So on that note, we'll hopefully see you all on Sunday again, if not sooner than that. So until then, take care, stay out of trouble.